Good day, Battle fans, and welcome to this coach interview with the coach of the Kentucky Kecleons, none other than Squirtacular. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Alright, guys, so we're just going to give you a quick rundown of Josh's team. The Kentucky Kecleons for this season are... Do you want to take it? Actually, do you want to take the reins here, or do you want me to do it?
I can do it.
Hey, it's completely up to you. It's your team. It's just whether or not you want to, get the people hyped, go through your beautiful family for this season.
Well, this is actually a test because I don't have the team in front of me, so let's see if I can remember them.
Ooh, let's see how dedicated you are to the team.
I have Mew, Mandibuzz, Raikou, Shaman, Scolipede, Cobalion, Kecleon, Frostlass,
Yep.
and one other one that I cannot remember.
Do you know what? You've remembered all of your initial draft that are, that isn't bench except for one. As Nidoking.
Nidoking. How could I forget about that?
I've actually got an old image in front of me with the original draft. I don't know if you changed anything.
Yeah, I did. I got Blastoise and Porygon 2 instead of Gardevoir and Jellicent.
Okay. So you've got Blastoise instead of Jellicent and Gardevoir. Not Mega Gardevoir. Gardevoir was replaced by... Who did you say?
Porygon 2.
Porygon 2. And then your last Benchmon was Holucha.
Yes.
And your Mega is, of course...
It's not that Mega. It's Mega Charizard X.
Mega Charizard X. So straight away, I'm seeing some serious threats on the team. Obviously... you've got the Baton Pass potential with the Speed Boost Scolipede. That thing is terrifying. You've got some fairly decent potential for Switch Initiative. You've got some Volt Turn going on. There's the fatness. The fatness in the form of Mandibuzz. Mew is quite potentially very fat. Blastoise, and we know you know how to use Blastoise. Yeah, and there's some decent power there as well. I mean, obviously Mew's versatility, you can put that to good use in the form of pure offense. You've got Raikou and Cobalion, a great pairing right there. Nidoking, hello. Sheer Force Nidoking, the wall-breaking
no
beast.
switchings for Nidoking whatsoever.
Damn straight.
No switchings.
Damn straight. That is a pretty terrifying draft, honestly. And with actually that in mind, with you having such a versatile draft, quite a nice range of types and utility sets and offensive sets and all sorts of goodness going on there. Do you have any draft experience with which to put that to use? Do other people going to be expecting some MLG plays?
I wouldn't quite go MLG, but I do have some drafting experience. I was in season 4 of the LBA, and I recently did season 5 draft, which I've just finished. Well, not just finished, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so... And I feel I drafted alright. I got quite a powerful team, actually. Season 1, well, the first season I was in the LBA, I kind of changed a lot of the team, but I learned a hell of a lot from it, and I feel like I can definitely bring that to this league and put it to good use, definitely.
Well, do you know, that's really good to hear, and I don't doubt it for a second. I mean, we all know that you are one for your unusual sets. And the thing is, though, people might think unusual sets don't work in this format, but it's quite the opposite. I mean, if your opponent tries to predict you, but you're some kind of maestro of the unusual, how are you going to be predicted? And I think with the fact that you've had a couple of seasons in a draft league now, you're used to making that sort of thing work for you in this format.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've definitely brought a lot of... I didn't bring as many unusual sets in my first season of the LBA because I wanted to play it a little bit safe, but I did bring stuff like Hidden Power Ice, Umbreon for a Gliscor.
Oh, very nice.
What else did I bring? I brought a lot of unusual things. Mixed Honchkrow was something that wasn't very unusual, but it definitely worked.
Yeah, I mean, Mixed Honchkrow was a sort of a pseudo wall breaker, wasn't it, back in Gen 5, I think. But yeah, it's still not something you see too often these days.
Yeah.
In my experience anyway, but what do I know?
Yeah, mixed attackers are definitely something that's amazing in this league. That's one thing I definitely have learned.
Couldn't agree more, and it's not like you're short of them either. I mean,
Exactly.
you've obviously got the Nidoking there. I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that you could go either way with Shaman as well. There's Mew, of course.
Shaman actually gets Swords Dance, which is interesting.
Shaman does get Swords Dance. Yes, yes, it does. Oh, that could be interesting indeed.
Yeah, that's something I've definitely looked into.
Oh, I'm looking forward to battling you. This should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna have no idea what to bring. So, we've been through your team. Very impressive draft indeed. We know you've got the experience to use it, but did you get the team you were hoping for? Did you get the picks you had planned?
I got most of what I wanted. Dan or Sigi got Tangrowth, literally the round I wanted it, which was a bit of a bummer. So I had to pick up Shaman instead. Other than that, I pretty much got everything I wanted, to be honest. And towards the end of the draft, sort of about 8, 9 and 10, I kind of just went with it, and I had a team sort of planned out, but then it kind of changed last minute because I completely forgot about you had to draft sort of, I think it's S, A, B, C, D and E.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, it was S through E were mandatory.
I completely forgot about that, so it changed like near the end, and then so like the last 3 months were kind of, I just went with it, and they turned out quite alright, to be honest.
Well, I would say so. Yeah, definitely. I think you've got a really nice team with a lot of potential. Actually, I'm scared to face it. I'm not going to deny that. It's
yeah, I definitely thought I was lacking some bulk towards the end. That's because not getting Tangrowth was a bit of a sucker punch for me because Shaman, it's good defensively, but it's not as good as Tangrowth.
Oh no, I mean, what is? I mean, few things, especially grass types, are as good defensively as Tangrowth. It's a monster. And that Regenerator, I mean, oh god. Yeah. But I will say though that whilst you are lacking the bulk, I think Enzo took all the bulk, so I wouldn't really, I wouldn't worry too much. Exactly, there's not really much bulk left. Everybody else's team looks like they've been on Slim Fast compared to his. Jesus, I mean, I'm really, really thankful I'm not facing Enzo in the initial rounds. Actually, maybe in the playoffs.
You have to face him.
I'm looking forward to seeing that match. Actually,
yeah, I've got a lot of things planned for Enzo's team, so if he's listening, then he needs to watch out. And
if he's not listening, why not? Show your support. No, but you've got those wall breakers though, and you've got a lot of potential things to disrupt the sort of stally strategies that he may be using. So I've got a lot of faith that'll be an interesting matchup indeed.
Yeah. So I've got to say, Hawlucha is one reason I kind of like Enzo's team is one reason I wanted Hawlucha, and when he picked up Mega Venusaur, it was even better.
Yeah, he does have a lot of mon that can be hit with, well, actually quite a lot of mon that would not enjoy taking on the flying and fighting dual stab at all.
Yeah.
This thing's got some speed and power as well, so...
Yeah, that dual stab I found it amazing. I got it in the LBA in my first season of that, and it put in a lot of work for me. It really is good because flying and fighting, there's not much that resists that.
No, you're not wrong there at all. And the things that do, I mean, it does have an okay amount of coverage. I mean, it's not the most versatile move pool in the world.
Yeah.
But it's got enough to... Yes, exactly.
I mean, it got Thunder Punch, but no Fire Punch or Ice Punch.
And then, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but it has access to U-turn as well if it needs to get the hell out of there.
So... Exactly, yeah. I've run Banded before, which is quite a good set, actually.
Oh, Banded U-turn is always nice as an opener for a fast mon like this. And it has high jump kick and powerful moves like that as well, so...
Yowza.
Yowza.
Good mon.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to serve you well. With that being said, I know we've sort of basically touched on this already, but would you say you're happy with your draft altogether?
Yeah, I would say I am. I think the bench was probably the weakest part of my draft because I just literally got 3 random mons apart from Hawlucha, which I always wanted. But I think getting Blastoise was good because another Rapid Spinner is always really nice, and
definitely.
It has a nice water typing which I didn't have already. And then Porygon, when I saw Porygon 2 was the same price as Gardevoir, I just had to get it.
Oh yeah.
Porygon 2 and Mandibuzz is going to be a pain in the arse for anybody.
Oh, definitely. Couldn't agree more. I mean, Mandibuzz might only take fighting type moves neutrally, but with the defense that it's got, especially defensive Porygon 2, you know, somebody brings in a fighting type, tries to launch a close combat, you bring in Mandibuzz quite safely. You know, you're not really going to have
I've also got Mew as well, which pairs up quite nicely with it.
Yeah, it's definitely a fat little core you've got going on. I mean,
Yep.
like we said, it's not quite the relentless bulk of Enzo,
Yeah.
but this is a very nice core indeed with a lot of potential. I'm excited to see it being used. And your offensive mon aren't exactly easy to take down either. I mean, Scoloped's got some moderate bulk. I mean, Nidoking's not exactly frail. Shaman, as you say, can be a really nice offensive mon or defensive mon. Kecleon, he's got a good typing for taking hits.
Good. Yeah, I like Kecleon. It actually, as a wall, it can kind of pair up nicely with Mandibuzz as well.
I've never used it defensively, so I couldn't really comment, but that sounds interesting. That definitely
It gets Stealth Volt, which is a nice defensive move, and Raw, stuff like that, and it has a Volt Switch, which is nice.
I do love Volt Switch on it. It is really nice, because not a lot of people expect it. It's like with Forretress. A lot of people still don't expect Forretress to be Volt Switching out of there.
Volt Switch and U-Turn is just... Like, Volt Turn is an amazing strategy. I think it's probably my favourite.
I think it's the favourite of a lot of people because momentum is just it's so crucial, and you have a lot of potential momentum here. I've got to say. I mean, what about 6 at least? Mon that can use Volt Switch, or Volt Turn even. Incredible, definitely incredible. I'd be happy. I'd be happy with this team definitely. So we've lauded the benefits of your team, and we've spoken about how happy you are with your draft. Yep. What do you think is going to be the biggest threat to your team? What opposing team do you think is the most troublesome for you?
I've got to say Frido's team scares me so much.
Oh, I'm facing him in about an hour, me too. Yeah, I agree.
Right mixture of defence and offence, and it's just going to be a pain in the arse to break down. I'm just going to have to pull out all the stops for him, like seriously. I'm going to just pull out every single stupid or weird set possible, so I'm not going to know what to do at all.
It is going to take some serious trickery to take down Frido. I think he's got a hell of a team.
And the next team I think is Enzo. As like everybody said, Enzo's team is just disgusting. And the worst part is he plays stall with. If he plays stall with it, then he's not going to have a nice time against me. That's all I'll say.
Oh, I can imagine you've got plenty of things to countermand the stall there. I think that you versus Enzo, the Kecleons against the Swiskers, is going to be one of the most interesting matches to watch, I think. Yeah,
I'd definitely say it's one to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, Enzo, if you're watching, I'd recommend maybe you try and go offensive. Take Josh by surprise, because otherwise, I think he's going to come prepared. I think he's definitely going to be prepared to counteract that incredible bulk.
I hope so.
So would you say there's anybody else, or are those the ones you are most scared of?
I'd say they're the ones I'm most scared of. I can't really remember all the other teams, but there was somebody else I think, but I can't remember who it was. I'm quite scared of your team, to be honest.
Hey.
Especially Hydreigon. That thing can destroy teams. I actually got it in my LBA team for the second season, and it is such a threat.
I've been reliably informed that my Hydreigon Mega Lopunny offensive core is pretty much an insta-win.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I'm going to have to put it to good use, because I've got my first match coming up soon. Quite nervous. I mean, a lot of you guys, like yourself, for instance, you've sort of had a lot more draft experience than I have, and I've only really had a very minimal amount. But yeah, I'd say that still my team is kind of threatening. I think so.
Yeah, I think your team's threatening, and I think because it's your first sort of season, you're going to learn so much. And I think next season you're the type of person that will adapt a lot better. And I think this season's the first season of a draft-based league is always a learning curve for anybody, no matter how good you are. Like even people like Frido, there's a lot you have to learn. There's a lot you have to kind of take in. Like it's a lot different to standard play. Like there's a lot of different things that you wouldn't bring.
Right,
and there's a lot of kind of sets that you would never ever see in standard play.
Yeah.
And it just makes it a lot better. It definitely makes you think a lot more. So I definitely think next season, when you learn sort of what drafts falls to what round, it's going to be kind of, because this season I've got to admit the draft was quite strange. I mean, Mr. Mime 4th round, stuff like that. But
and let's not forget the 3rd round Torkoal.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shocker actually. But no, Torkoal is really good mon, and
definitely.
It does fool a lot of physical attackers because a lot like water is usually special, so you're not going to stay on a water move. So
I don't think Torkoal wants to stay in on any special move. Honestly, I think he's got like base 40 special defense.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Didn't know it was that low.
Yeah, it's really bad, and his HP's not that great either. But I digress. We've talked a lot about my draft actually, and it's the wrong video. Gosh darn it. So yes, we've talked about the most threatening teams to the Kentucky Kecleons this season. So why do you think that people should support you? Why should they get behind the Kecleons?
Just because I am going to be using a lot of strange things that they will not expect, and if they like diversity and weird sets, then I guess I'm the team to support.
I think I would have to get on board with that. I think the only person that could rival you for strangeness of sets has got to be Jedi, and I think it's a completely different sort of strange that he brings to the table. So if you like unusual sets and you like to see some incredible planning, I think that you should definitely get behind the Kecleons. Great team, great coach, and I'd endorse that. I think we've got all the teams are great and all the coaches are great, but I think you would definitely not be going wrong, and you would be backing somebody who is definitely in contention for the title. I would say if you got behind the Kecleons, I would have to agree with Josh there. He is.
Please. Say the nicest things.
I'm just telling it how it is, bro. He is a master of the unusual set, and you definitely would not be disappointed supporting this team. So, do you have any closing statements for the Kentucky fans out there?
Just get behind the team really, and just try and show me some support, and that's all I can really say, to be honest.
Alright, well, I think that just about wraps this up then. If you guys are getting behind the Kentucky Kecleons this season, for Season 1 of the TBU, let us know why. Comment in the comment section, tell us why you're supporting them, or why you're not supporting them, and who you're supporting instead, and the matchups you are most looking forward to this season. So with that, I think it's going to be goodbye from us. So, do you want to say goodbye, sign off?
Yep, goodbye everybody.
And goodbye.